Greetings, planty people, and welcome back to my jungle. So today I thought I'd share with you some of my favourite velvety leaved plants because I had more than I realised, and I'm quite a big fan, I must say, I really am. So let me know your favourite velvety leaved plants down below, I'd love to see. So what shall we go with first? See if you can guess which ones I'm going to say, because you might have an idea. So the first one is one I've shared here before, and it's only just started to recently grow because I've changed it from a moss to a soil mix, and it's really helped. So this is a Philodendron glorious. I believe I've talked about this before on here, but this is one of those plants that I've been really looking after because it's quite hard to get. But I managed to get it at a swap. Amy from Soil Ninja just gave it me, and I was like, are you sure? And she was like, yeah. I was like, thank you. Obviously, I've been taking mega care of it. What's it a mix of? I think, is it glorious? So gloriosum, vericosum, glorious, I believe that's it. As you can see, it does have characteristics of both, as you can see, and it's got that gorgeous texture, and I'm so happy that I have one. I know it's a bit scuffed because when I took it home there were so many plants in my bag and everything got a bit squished because I wasn't expecting how much I was going to swap. So that's my tip: if you're going to a swap, bring a box and a bag, maybe more, a trolley, whatever you can manage. I think I'm going to have to give it a moss pole. There is some little root nubs coming up and there's a lovely new leaf coming through. How gorgeous is that? I just love the shape. Obviously it's usually a bit more pointy than that, and I love the striping down there. I love you. Don't want to get lipstick on it. So yeah, if you can get one of these, it's worth it. I know they're hard to find, so I understand, but I can't recommend it enough. Okay, next one you probably won't be able to guess because you probably don't think it is velvety, but if you feel it in person, you'll know what I mean. So you probably know by now that I am a big Syngonium fan and I don't have enough. I did an order on Plants for All Seasons as I had a voucher for Christmas, and this is one of the ones I got. So this is the Syngonium chiapense. Ooh, and she doesn't fit in the pot properly. And on first glance, you probably think it's just like a glossy philodendron feel, but the new leaves, I'm gonna be very careful. It's that, I don't know how to even describe it to you. So obviously velvety, but like micro velvet. So really compact, but really soft. Actually, I know what I can describe it to. You know when you get a velvety book cover that's smooth? It's like this. So this is obviously gagging for a moss pole as well. I am waiting for an order of some. I really want to make my own, but I don't know where to get all the resources from, so please let me know. Obviously really wanted to get this one as I have its cool sister, the frosted heart, and these guys grow like a philodendron in my experience. They're super succulent and they're just really easy, and they let you know when they're thirsty as well, which is super handy. And I haven't experienced any rot so far. I must be doing something right, but I can't wait for this to get big. I also want to chop pieces off and give them to my friends because this is one of those plants that not a lot of people know of, even though it's not that rare, if you know what I mean. They often have a sale on Plants for All Seasons, so check them out if you're after one of these. The variegated one, it's too nice, beautiful. And the frosted heart isn't as velvety, it's a bit more of a matte feel. Okay, so the next one is just beyond me head, and that's Miss Clarinervium. Oh, I just got a jump scare by its root. Oh, well that's a good sign. I've only just repotted it as well. Never mind. So this is the Anthurium clarinervium. This was the first Anthurium I got. And as you can see here, this isn't a little microphone. This is a tiny little bloom. I don't have any experience in pollinating Anthurium because I only have this and a baby crystallinum. So I'm probably gonna have to scrape off the pollen and pop it in the freezer and wait for another time. But I love this one. 1, because it's so easy. 2, because it's striking. 3, because it's so soft. It's quite similar to the chiapense feel, but a little bit more velvety. See if I can show you up close. It has that kind of velvet sheen. I've got no words. I just love this plant so much. I was a bit scared to get an Anthurium for the longest time. It's so easy, and plus I have a grow light here which has really boosted it, and I do fertilise it all year round, so that really helps. And I've also got this little plant pal in here from Sophie. Love it. Look at its little face. So yes, I do plan to get more Anthurium. They're just a bit expensive for me. So if you've been thinking about getting one of these, now's a good time. The prices have gone right down, so do it. Treat yourself. Okay, so next one is the Calathea Warshawixii or Warshawezii. Still don't know how to pronounce it. Please tell me. So I got this one ages ago. I've talked about it before on here. I feel like everyone, when they start to get into plants, go for Calathea as they're cheap, mostly cheap, and they're just really easy to find, but they're so hard to get right. And this one and the network one is the only Calathea that I haven't killed. I don't know what that says about me. I just love it, and I love its pattern. And obviously I've got the usual crispy edges, but this one doesn't, so I'm okay with that. So up close, look at that velvety sheen, and the sides are scalloped. I just love it. I feel like this plant deserves so much more hype, but I understand why there isn't, because people are scared of these plants. So I understand. If you're willing to give it a try, just water when it feels dry and give it a nice kind of medium to bright space, and then you'll get a plant like this. I know it's only a little baby one and they can get pretty massive, but it's got a lovely new shoot coming through. Just make sure you fertilise it lots, make sure it doesn't get too cold, and you'll be good as gold. That rhymed. What shall I go with next? So this is probably one of my most talked about plants on TikTok and YouTube, I have to think then, because I had a complete nightmare trying to grow this one because I didn't realise how much humidity and light and water it needed compared to other philodendron. Because it's got those thin papery leaves, it dries out so quickly. But since putting it in a better soil mix, feeding it more water, so whenever it feels dry, so it's actually probably dual water now actually, I'm putting a moss pole on it. Look at that, look at all that lovely new growth. I think this is one of the most beautiful leaves I've got in my collection. I love that, and they're so velvety as well. As it's a velvety one, you've got to make sure there are no spider mites on there, so this is your reminder to check. Nope, you're all good. And especially the new leaves are so soft. So if you're a little bit worried about getting one of these, or if you're struggling with it, just really make sure it's not dry because that is the key, and give it as bright as light as it will let you. Grow light above, perfect, because I know a lot of philodendron don't want too much light, but some do, and this is one of them, so that's my little tip for you. Last but not least is the classic philodendron micans. This one is very commonly found nowadays, which makes me happy because I love it so much, and it's one of the coolest looking plants that I have, despite being common. I feel like common plants get more hate just because they're easier and cheaper to find, but this is one of those ones where I'm like, I don't understand why people don't like it. Obviously everyone has their own opinions, but look at that velvety sparkle. It's so easy to, it's so easy to grow, and if you have it on a big pole like this, I'll see if I can show you. Ooh. Look at that growth, and look how big that top leaf is. It's giving melanochrysum. That was my goal actually, so I probably need to pin some more of the new growth because it won't stop growing. If you have the room and you have a very healthy looking micans, I very strongly recommend giving it a big old moss pole. And I've seen recently the variegated one, and I'm like, ooh, because it's pink, and I love pink variegation on things. This one is just perfect, and I love it with my whole heart. I think that concludes all my favourite velvety leaved plants. I probably have more, like there's a gloriosum there, probably should put it in, but I feel like I've spoken about that one enough. So let me know what your favourite velvety leaved plants are. I am very curious to know, and I'll leave all my social medias down below. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.